Some women are simply born rich, confident, and naturally magnetic to their desires. Let's be clear, this podcast is not for them. However, if you're a soul-driven, visionary, or entrepreneurial woman who's been on a mission to learn how to create a better future bursting to come out of you, welcome to my world. I'm Jo Warwick, and this is Rich, Sexy, and Free. I've dedicated most of my career to helping women get to their core power and unlock the missing pieces for their own unique success. You may already know me as the author of The Big Book of Love. With 30 years experience in psychology, embodiment, manifesting, and energetics, we will be exploring together the keys to becoming rich, sexy, and free. So if this excites you, don't forget to like and subscribe on your favorite platforms so you can stay up to date with the podcast. Hey, Jo Warwick here, and welcome to Rich, Sexy, and Free. And today it's one of our intimate sessions, and I am not holding back today because I want to talk about my all-time favorite subject. Oh, what is that about? Money. I love talking about money. I love talking about manifesting money. I love talking about quantum money. I love talking about breaking the rules about money. And I really want to bring this to the forefront. Now, if you've been listening to Rich, Sexy, and Free for a while, you know that we always have the money conversation with my guests, their stories and how they stepped into their power. And I've shared a bit about my own story around money, but I've had a big kind of insights recently about where I've been holding back in the public arena about money compared to when I'm working with my clients. It's still one of my favorite subjects with my clients, and yet I keep wandering away from it. Now, on this journey that I've been on, I've been locking in deeper and deeper understanding of human design and my own success factor. Now, we are currently running Success Factor at the moment, which you can still join. But in that process, aligning with what really excites me is talking about money. However, I've also had the insight regarding my own childhood and why I keep avoiding talking about it. So if you don't know, growing up, money was a very stressful subject for my parents. Like many people, it was the conversation that brought stress into their relationship. They would argue about money. They were chasing money. But it was always around money and success. It was a very particular time, in the 80s, growing up, that my parents were seeking to have a better life than they had growing up, that my dad wanted recognition. It was a lot about proving. And of course, we have that a lot in our society regarding proving your worth. And if you have money, that's going to, give you value into your life. Now, as a projector, as the way that I was made, I already knew that money was very different to what I was seeing outside of myself. And I couldn't understand all this sort of stress, and I did not want it. Now, Rich, Sexy, and Free is the birthing of my journey of aligning not only with my own success, with my own vision, my own insights, but my own relationship with money, my own relationship with living a rich life. Not just living it day-to-day wealth, but also with money itself. Inside some of my money programs, and I have quite a lot of money programs that have created massive transformations for my clients and for myself, I built them along my journey of transforming and accepting a healthy relationship with money. I did not want to have the same relationship that my parents had, either in love or in money. And so my journey started me on a relationship with love first. It was about understanding what healthy relationships were like, what healthy love looked like, what I knew in my soul, but how to actually create it, live it, embody it, know what self-value was, know what self-love is. And then I transferred that into different aspects of my life. The way that I am designed, I am a trial and error, give it a go, try that person. That's the way that I'm designed. That's the way that I learn. It's how my books are full of so many stories. It's why I tell stories, because it's about my role model experience. And so I went off and played with the tools and the insights that I wanted that was different. Now, if you listen to the last intimate session we had, the last intimate podcast, I talked about my relationship with the menopause. And that was a really great example of where I was like, no, this is how I believe it's supposed to be, and this is how I'm going to experience it. And the journey with money took a lot longer to transform because I kept finding myself wanting to fit into the rules. I had lots of deep programming, like everybody does, around our society of money, around being a woman and money. Lots of things we could go into where the ideas that money are bad and money is something that's punishing and toxic, but that's not the truth. That is just like relationships. There are people who you can have toxic and abusive relationships with. You can have a toxic and abusive relationship with yourself, or you can learn how to have a healthy attachment, a healthy relationship, a healthy, loving relationship. And just because what you had growing up isn't what you wanted, it doesn't mean you have to have the same. It doesn't matter that you may have grown up in abuse, you can still have a healthy, loving relationship. And exactly the same goes with money. And I can see now on my journey why I had to weave a journey of understanding about relationships and about love and about locking in who I am within those aspects of my life first before I could be bolder and braver and bigger about my passion for talking about money. Because my understanding, my knowing, my insights, my practice, my wisdom around money breaks the rules of what has been available. It's so different to what was available before me. And so I became the leading edge. Now, there's a lot more out there. There's a lot more of other people also saying money's not how you've seen it. But over the last 25 years of doing this work, I have created programs like Divine Wealth, Money Magic, Money Love, Luxurious Living Millionaire Mindset. So many, so many. And those were all part of the journey, including my new Feminine Wealth Code, which is my new membership, which you can find out about. These have all been part of the journey of me integrating what I was learning about money. The biggest shift was that I didn't have to do it the masculine way. It wasn't about proving my worth, it was about allowing and receiving. I learnt that I could allow money in so many forms when I let go of shame and fear, and I started to allow a healthy, loving, deep relationship. And what that really looked like. And when I shifted from it being someone I was in fear of being controlled by, which is what I saw my dad do with money, and felt he was trying to control money but felt controlled by money, and who was giving him money, instead coming into a seductive, loving, playful, best friend relationship with money, that knowing it's always here. So on some level, like we all do, we know money is energy. We hear that around, we know it. We also know that money doesn't really exist. It doesn't actually exist apart from as an energetic form. It could and was replaced from being, I have a chicken and I'm going to exchange it for a piece of bread. We place onto money what we think money should be and what other people have told us what money should be. The worth that we give it, the value that we give it. But the truth is, it's just digits, it's gold, it's exchanges, it's energy, we've never had so much money ever on this planet, and it is exponentially growing. The only reason it is in some hands more than others is because of programming and belief, and where it has been a space where some people have allowed it to flow and others haven't. And I truly believe it is our job now, as we are shifting into a more balanced energy of masculine and feminine, that not only is the feminine rising up, women are rising up, but also the feminine within men, that we shift the relationship with money. We change it into something that is caring and healthy and loving. And that we honor money, which makes me giggle because I'm remembering in one of my programs in Divine Wealth, they talk about how, and there's a story, an activating story of how money was a goddess who was then turned into and vilified as a bitch. That money's a bitch and women are terrible, and it's all that projection. It's just projection, just like any other thing in this world. Now you get to decide. If you're listening to this and you're going, it's a pile of horseshit, you're not meant to be in my world, so bye-bye. I send you much love. If you are in my world and this resonates to you on your soul, you already know what I'm talking about. It's how to lock it in. Now, within my journey, I went and played with money in commercial worlds, in business worlds. I gave myself permission slips to see if I could allow money to be safe, more serious, more acceptable. And when I did that, I could make money, and yet I would do it at a cost of myself, because I was still trying to exactly make money safe, serious. I was making her stressful, the flow of money stressful, which is what I had seen growing up. And of course, that wasn't the truth. Money is incredibly playful. It's playful, it's fun, it's joyous, it's an opportunity for you to share generously. And I know for myself, over my lifetime of practicing and playing with money, not having money, taking myself to absolute poverty, not having money, growing up around people with lots of money and those who are trying to get money, having money myself, losing money, having money, losing money and having money, is that when I have money, I am so much more generous. I'm so much more open-hearted. I'm so much more wanting to play and share with others. Because when I allow myself to have money, I am allowing myself to be in the natural state I'm supposed to be, abundant. Now, of course, with that, there is a frequency of that generosity. There is a frequency of money being success as a vibe. And there is also a practical of how to learn how to take care of money. And just like taking care of an animal, taking care of a dog, taking care of a cat, taking care of a horse, there is money management. But again, there is a style that money management has to be serious and hard and difficult. Or it can be light and it can be playful and it can be structured. Just like a riverbank and a river, you need both for the river to flow fully, and that's exactly the same with money. You must have a structure, not for money just to flow through, but yes, if you want a business, you need a clear structure for money to flow through. But money can show up in masses of ways. Magical money can show up over and over again. Inside my Soul Flow program, money just poured in. Inside my Raining Money bundle, we literally talk about raining money. It's a meditation and a bundle which you can now grab from the shop. It's a mindset, and I have experienced that over and over again, and I have helped my clients experience that. But what happens is people get scared of that because they're like, oh, but if I get that money, I'll freak out. They freak out because they know it's not in their body yet. Once you've embodied it, it's like, it's just money. It's money. It's wonderful. It's playful. We get to do stuff. And it becomes just a constant river, a flow, a stream that builds momentum. And our only job then is to learn how to relax into allowing it and feel comfortable with it and playing it and making sure, just like a current of energy, it gets to flow in and it gets to flow out. If you break a current, it can't stay current, literally. So when we look around, and gosh, I know for myself through study, through observation, I've read a million books about this as well, but more importantly, human observation has been my thing my whole life, which is why I became a psychotherapist, basically getting paid to do it. This projection onto money, this fear or this love, this fear or this flow, of where we either hold on, and even if we've worked really hard to make money, you will find that people will either put money into tight little containers as though to stop it, or very limited interest rates. They keep the risk low because they're afraid of their own power. They're afraid of letting go and allowing it to be more. They're afraid of the energy flows. So when you're coming from that attitude, money is limited, money is shrinky, money is small, money is something you've got to control because it might run away and take you with it. It's full of fear. But if you're someone who's here, I know you've already been doing some money work. I know that you've been probably reading some books. Maybe you've been trying to create money in a different way. You know in your soul that money has a very different frequency and a different relationship. And it's your job to continue on this journey, to lead and expand and play and evolve with the relationship with money. This relationship I have with money now is so far from what I've had in the past. I was so good at being around other people's money, but the relationship I now have with money, that it's my money and I don't have to hide this relationship with money, that it gets to be no longer toxic. It's not that. It's also not illicit. And that is another way we can have a relationship with money that's illicit and secretive. Like, oh, I shouldn't talk about that. And as a Brit, I can tell you we're quite programmed that we don't talk about money. But when it's illicit, it's secretive, it's naughty, that is a different frequency. And again, we're falling into shame. I would say now my relationship with money is healthy and loving, which is why I have recently gone, but why am I still making it safe? I've reached a new level with my relationship with money. It's like, oh, put down the barriers. Stop hiding. And particularly this is within my business. I have been hiding my knowledge and understanding of money. I've made people a lot of money. I've made people in businesses a lot of money. I've helped people grow their businesses to multiple 6-7 figures and beyond. I have made a lot of money, and I've lost a lot of money too, because I was playing out money has to be safe. Not anymore. And so I'm like, why am I still hiding my knowledge of money? Why am I still hiding? Because on some level, I didn't want to break the rule of my family. That it gets to be stressful and it's got to be hidden. I'm not there anymore. That's an old behavior that doesn't suit me. So instead of having these secretive little programs that you can't buy, I have decided to let down the gatekeeping of my money knowledge, and how I have weaved a deep and intensive knowing, understanding, research work as a psychotherapist, is specializing in love and relationships, how I integrated that into money and that relationship and shifted it from something that was toxic to something that is spectacular and a love affair and delightful and fun and overflow, which is the essence of Rich, Sexy and Free. This whole journey, everything that the Rich, Sexy and Free method is about, is helping women shift not just from victimhood, but within the subject matter that is actually most exciting for me. And so in this season of Rich, Sexy and Free, we will be focusing on the rich part. We've been focusing on sexy. And I feel that it's really time that I want to focus and talk about rich. It's the bit that turns me on and taps me in and makes me excited. And I kept giving it permission slips and justifications. If I talked about it through manifesting, if I talked about it through business, if I talked about it through wounding and trauma, if I talked about it, all these excuses. But the truth is, I just want to talk about money. And I just want to talk about how I can help you make more money, have more money, shift those deep beliefs around money, and to create the life that you want with money. That's the point. This is about a relationship with money, an ongoing relationship. And this will be my ongoing relationship with money until the day I die, that it gets to be better and better and better and better and better. Because the truth about money is there is no end. There is no limitation. There is an overflow and abundance of money, ever expanding, ever growing. And it's available for you to tap into both as an energy, but also as more importantly, an embodiment. This isn't about shifting and saying, well, I'm just going to give you the tools of going, paint by numbers. This is not how you lock in money. Money is about freeing yourself up to being the fullness of yourself and coming into the frequency of wealth. So we're still talking about the same things that I talk about here on Rich, Sexy and Free, but now I'm going to give you access to more tools and, more importantly, this shift of being in my own frequency about this, so that I free it up to allow you to have the success that you want with this relationship with money. For a long time, I was so passionate about love. The reason I published the Big Book of Love was based on the abundance and overflow of the universe and the love of that. But now when I see it was the foundation, and it still is the foundation if you don't know what healthy love is. And we just transferring that onto the most knotted subject that has kept women, particularly women, controlled for thousands of years. And I feel that it is time for me to fully own my voice, and more importantly, own my energy and activation and knowledge about how we step into the goddess energy of money and fully embody money and wealth in our own way, with freedom and flow and love and pleasure and seduction. Because when money is in the hands of women, good things happen. And there have already been incredible women who have been stepping up and showing this. And yet there have also been women who've been stepping up and showing it as a masculine thing. Now, I'm not saying it has to be masculine or feminine. I'm saying it has to be integrated into your own design of who you are, but it's not about control. And it's about rising together. So I'm going to keep calling this out, and I'm going to keep sharing it. And if you meet me at this point, you will join. So at this moment, you can dive into any one of the digital programs that is live on my shop, and more will be coming live. At this moment, you could easily grab the Raining Money bundle. You could grab the Luxurious Living Millionaire Mindset, both super fucking powerful. Money Love is coming soon. But most importantly, the next step will be able to come and join inside the Feminine Wealth Code, my membership program. All very, very exciting. Now, if you're grabbing this today, you can still join us for Success Factor. That is also inside the shop. If you just head on over to richsexyandfree.com as ever, or find any of the links on my social media at Rich, Sexy and Free, you will find one simple link where you can just go and hit the button and access anything you want to do. But the Success Factor is running live. This is an opportunity still open and will be open until the 18th of April, where you can join the live immersion portal that we are in, talking about success. And a big aspect of that is going to be about money. We started today. It was lit up. It is magnetic, and hold on to your hats. It's going to be super fucking exciting. So if 2025 is the year that you have said, enough, I am determined, I want to learn more about money. And I will be sharing things like books and other people's stuff, because I've read so many great books. I do believe there is an essence that you need to understand about management of money. But more importantly, it's about the energy, it's about the frequency, it's about aligning with the universe, it's about freeing yourself up, it's about saying, I am stabilized in my nervous system. One of the things that inside the Raining Money bundle is there is a regulate to wealth tapping exercise in there, which you'll love and is super juicy. It's about lining mind, body, and energy. As I talk about at the beginning of this podcast, I am an expert in embodiment, manifesting, energetics, metaphysics, and all weaved in with psychology. So go grab things that have been proven. These are all proven programs. Success Factor is new and unfolding, so that it's fresh and it's new, and you can grab anything I'm downloading and riding the wave of the new energy and activations that are happening inside of there. Feminine Wealth Code is new, so that's also at a much higher frequency, a bigger frequency. So again, it's that opportunity. But all of the digital programs that are available are proven results. Okay, for myself and for my clients around the world. So you're jumping into something that you can grab that already does the deal. The bundle is like $22. It's a no-brainer, and then ranges everything up to working with me one-to-one, which is $35,000. So there is a full range of ways to work with me. But if you want to get inside a Success Factor for Live, at this moment, it's only $33. So I have a whole range of ways that you can access understanding, going deeper, more about money. And at this moment, your success, money, your relationship with money. And of course, you can always grab the Big Book of Love. If you want to start there to have a healthier relationship with love itself, go grab the Big Book of Love. It's also in the links on richsexyandfree.com. and available in all good bookshops. The second edition, you want the second edition. So, am I passionate? Yes, I am. Am I excited? Yes, I am. I will be talking a lot more about money. This is the season that I am stepping into, sharing with you and inviting with and talking more with my guests about money and how we activate and change and uplift for women and men the relationship we have with money so we can get more money in the hands of amazing people like you with good-heartedness who not only receive for themselves but come then into an energy of generosity so that they can support and help, because money should be there to support your purpose, and you should be paid for your purpose, but you should be paid and enjoying your passion, and most importantly, enjoying the life you were born to live. So if this excites you and you want to know more and you want to dive in and you want to know more about how human design locks into this as well, you're in the right place of activating your power centers, activating your magnetism, activating your potential for allowing money to flow through your mind, through your body, through your nervous system. You are already perfectly designed to be wealthy. I just want to help unlock the code for you. So I'm so excited. This has been a very deep journey for me and will continue to unfold, of course. But I sure share with you that I have had a dream for a very long time of holding amazing, intimate retreats on money. Deep, rich millionaire retreats. I've always dreamt of them. So maybe I'm moving closer to that dream. But I have already locked in the idea of VIP play days with my clients, and that super excites me. So we shall watch this space. But most importantly, if you've loved this and you know that money is a subject for your friends or family members, share them this episode. Please like, subscribe, share, tell people about it. Share it with the women in your life. It's been great to connect with you today, but before you leave, if you want to find out more about how I can help you personally or check out any of my books, products, or coaching packages, just simply go ahead and visit richsexyandfree.com. And I look forward to seeing you next week on the podcast.